that I present to the spring semester outstanding athletics of Mercedes ISD. Before we do all this, I just want to thank everybody for the opportunity, the support that we got from administration. We were able to compete this past spring at a very high level and represent Mercedes at some of these top programs. First ones we got are boys track. They were our 32-5A district champs. They also finished second in the area meet, and we had a few regional qualifiers. They are Diego Amazan, Tony Alzaldúa, Josiah Cantu, Mike Cisneros, Andrew Cortez, Austin Davila, Josue de la Fuente, Jose Fuentes, Juan Calvan, Jordan Gamez, Brandon Gomez, Alvaro Gonzalez, Jordan Gonzalez, Isaiah Hernandez, Jason Lozoya, Jamarian Owens, Gael Rivas, Xavier Sanchez, Tyrell Trevino. Area qualifiers were Josiah Cantu, Mike Cisneros, Austin Davila, Josue de la Fuentes, Jordan Gonzalez, Xavier Sanchez, Tyrell Trevino, and Jose Fuentes. Regional qualifiers, Jordan Gonzalez, Xavier Sanchez, Tyrell Trevino, Jose Fuentes, Josiah Cantu, Mike Cisneros, Austin Davila, Jose de la Fuentes. Texas High School Coaches Association All-Academic State Track and Field Team, second team, Josiah Cantu, Jose Fuentes, and Alvaro Gonzalez III.
Next, we have the girls' track, area qualifiers, regional qualifiers.
Yes, we got our 2021 Lady Tiger track team. The following Lady Tiger track athletes qualified for the area meet that was held here at Mercedes on April 15th. We have Riley Castañeda, 400-meter relay, 800-meter relay, and 1600-meter relay. Cassie Rodriguez, 400-meter relay, 100 meters, 200 meters, and long jump. Angelique Rangel, triple jump, 400-meter relay, 800-meter relay, and 1600-meter relay. Serena Limas, 400-meter relay, 800-meter relay, and 1600-meter relay. Leah Adame, 100-meter hurdles, 300-meter hurdles, and 1600-meter relay. Jamie Flores, triple jump, 400-meter relay, 800-meter relay, and 100 meters. Lynette Villarreal, shot put and discus. Jimena Puente, discus. Malaya Vallejo, 800-meter relay and 1600-meter relay. Lindsay Lopez, 400-meter relay. Michelle De La Torre. Regional track qualifiers were Lynette Villarreal in the discus and Cassie Rodriguez in the 200 meters. The following athletes received academic All-State recognition. Cassie Rodriguez, first team academic All-State. Riley Castañeda, first team academic All-State. Angelique Rangel, honorable mention. We have coaches, Coach Judy Gutierrez, Stephanie Flores, Olga Adame, Pete Martinez, and Santos Esquivel.
Next, we have the softball district champions, 5 district champions, area finalists.
Yes, next we have the Lady Tiger softball team. Finished the season with an overall record of 17 wins and 7 losses. This year, they were the 32-5A district champs with a perfect 14-0 record. The Lady Tigers outscored their opponents 177-18 in district play. They earned a by-district championship with 2 blowout wins against Valley View and were area finalists. Numerous members of the team were recognized for their performance and hard work this season by receiving all district selections. We'll start with number 1, Clarissa Rizzo, 32-5A Newcomer of the Year, 32-5A All-Academic Team. Number 2, Michaela Cisneros, First Team All-District Outfield, 32-5A All-Academic Team. Number 3, Natalie Acosta, 32-5A All-Academic Team. Number 4, Aramari Perales, Second Team All-District, Baseman, 32-5A All-Academic Team. Cassie Rodriguez, 32-5A Most Valuable Player, 32-5A All-Academic Team. Number 6 is Isabel Sanchez, number 32-5A Honorable Mention Outfield, 32-5A All-Academic Team. Number 7, Michelle De La Torre, 32-5A Honorable Mention. Number 8, Angelique Rangel, 32-5A First Team All-District Catcher, 32-5A All-Academic Team. Bella Ramos, 32-5A Second Team All-District Outfield, 32-5A All-Academic Team. Abigail Rocha, District Champion. Rihanna De La Torre, First Team All-District Third Baseman. Lindsay Lopez, District Champion. Anastasia Gomez, District Champion. Bridget Sanchez, First Team All-District Utility Player, 32-5A All-Academic Team. Clarissa Garza, First Team All-District First Baseman, 32-5A All-Academic Team. Zelinda Camacho, First Team All-District Shortstop, 32-5A All-Academic Team. Team Manager, Alessandra Alvarado. We have Head Coach Christy Leal, Varsity Assistants, Rochelle Gonzalez, Harold Lane, Alexis De Leon, Junior High Coaches, Oscar Sepulveda and Alyssa Cavazos. We'd like to present the Cadena 5th Annual Scholarship Awards. On behalf of the family of Mando Cadena, we want to express our gratitude to God, the Lady Tiger softball team, Coach Christy Leal, and her assistants, to all the senior parents and many other members. It is our intent as a family to help these seniors continue their education. We would like to present the following 4 seniors with a $1,000 scholarship each. Congratulations to the following girls: Cassidy Faith Rodriguez, Angelique Rangel, Rihanna De La Torre, and Isabel Sanchez.
Next, we have baseball by district finalists.
Okay, yes, we have our boys baseball team. Okay, they hadn't been in the playoffs in the past 4 years. We were able to qualify this past year. It was an exciting single elimination tournament there at the end that they were able to win both games on the road against Brownsville Lopez. Of course, Ed Couch to get into the playoffs, so and secured a spot and performed well. So we're very proud of our boys. We got number 1, Jonathan Barrientes. Number 2, Daniel Olivares. Number 3, Edgar Longoria. Number 4, Michael Cisneros. Number 5, Sam Longoria. Number 6, Ivan Flores. Number 7, James Vega. Number 8, John Rosales. Number 10, Israel Sanchez. Number 11, Ryan Reese. Number 12, Marcus Gonzalez. Number 13, Gene Castañeda. Number 14, Jeremiah Reyes. Number 15, Devin Soto. Number 21, Steven Calvan. They'll be doing their all-district selection this coming week, so we'll find out their awards here this next coming week. We will be presenting another scholarship here, and this is on behalf of the Savarino family. So I'll read what he wanted us to say tonight. Savarino 7th Annual Baseball Scholarship Award. On behalf of the family of the late Bill Savarino and son Mark Savarino, we want to congratulate the Mercedes Tiger baseball team on making the playoffs this year. Congratulations to Coach Pimentel and his assistant. This year, the Savarino family will recognize senior Gene Castañeda for his leadership effort on the field and the classroom. Gene Castañeda will get a $1,000 scholarship.
Next, we have the Teacher of the Year recognitions.
Good afternoon, Madam President, Superintendent Ms. Mendiola, distinguished board. It is our honor to recognize and acknowledge Mercedes Independent School District's Teachers of the Year for 2020-2021. We will begin with Mercedes Academic Academy. Not present here today, being represented by Principal Mr. Juan Garza. Big round of applause for Sergio Tamez. Representing Mercedes Early College Academy, presented with Miss Jeannie Venecia, Teacher of the Year, Jesus Ramos. Not present here today because she's taking some college classes, working on her master's degree, representing the Sergeant Harold Middle School, Miss Marcela Chu. Not present here today, but being represented by Principal Santiago Salazar. Big round of applause for Teacher of the Year, Ms. Marta Vasquez. Being represented with Ms. Assistant Principal Rosie Bustamante. Big round of applause for Ruben Hinojosa Elementary's Teacher of the Year, Maria Vallejo. WB Travis Elementary Teacher of the Year, being presented with Mr. Mike Chacon. Big round of applause for Teacher of the Year, Lisa Garcia. Being presented with Principal Ms. Elvia Rivera, John F. Kennedy Elementary's Teacher of the Year, Esmirna Garay. Now we're going to recognize the Elementary Teacher of the Year, representing Zachary Taylor Elementary, being presented with Mr. David Aguirre, Principal of the campus. Teacher of the Year, Ms. Elisa Martinez. Representing the secondary, the Teacher of the Year for Mercedes High School, being accompanied by Mr. Rick Hinojosa, Principal for 2021-2022. Teacher of the Year, Mr. Michael Rodriguez.
Do we have any comments from the board at this time?
Madam Chairman, I just want to say congratulations to all the students. It's been great to see student recognition again. It's been a while because of the COVID pandemic, but I heard, in case you didn't know, we had a workshop yesterday, and some of the students were recognized for top 10 students. And I heard some of the same names that were presented last night, presented here tonight. So that's really exceptional to know that we have student athletes that are doing well on the field as well and the track, as well as in the classroom. So it's great things that are happening here in Mercedes, and of course this couldn't be done without the support of their parents and our staff and faculty. As you saw tonight, we have several teachers that were recognized for their hard work. Especially in this year of this COVID pandemic. I think it's been a challenge for everyone. I just want to say thank you to those teachers for their efforts and for being there for our students. Thank you so much.
Anyone else? No? I would also like to congratulate everyone that's here tonight and from yesterday as well. You all have done an exceptional job. I know it hasn't been easy, but just know that we are here for you, and congratulations to all the students and teachers. Congratulations. Next on the superintendent report, we have workers' compensation presentation. Ms. Mendiola.
Yes, Madam Chairman, we have Mr. Montalvo here who will be presenting an update on our workers' comp along with Mr. Villafranca.
And I'm also going to introduce Mr. Ruben Gonzalez from Texas Mutual.
Thank you, sir.
Good evening, Superintendent Mendiola, President Trevino, and Board. As mentioned, I am the insurance agent for the workers' compensation for the district this year, and wanted to come in and give you a report, a year-to-date report of how y'all have been doing, which has been excellent. I have a little bit of information before I introduce my colleagues here. We have 8 months into the year, and in those 8 months, total claims incurred is about $83,000. If you compare the same period last year, it was $285,000 for those 8 months. So you're well on your way to getting a dividend if you renew next year, and it's going to be up there. I can't tell you how much it's going to be because it fluctuates. So I congratulate you. It's a team effort, and a lot of the the reason is these gentlemen here that I'm going to introduce. So at this point, I'm going to introduce Mr. Martin Villafranca first. He is the president of Villafranca Loss Control and Safety, and he has 20 years of experience. And if you might recall, in response to the high numbers of workers' comp claims the district was having, you decided to go with his independent loss control service. And so he's here to give you an update from his role.
Good evening, Madam Superintendent and board members. I'll be quick. This is just an update from the last presentation we did on December 14, 2020 to the present. Basically, we've provided some assistance with the Return to Work Policy Program, developed an accident investigation form for the safety manual. We've been working diligently on the safety manual. I believe, if you recall, last time we talked, Mercedes didn't have a safety manual, so we've been working very closely with Ralph Mendez and also Rolando Herrera. We've also developed some safety training for the safety officers. We've done quite a bit of safety training in regards to that. I believe that the training is going to be very, very important to reduce some of these losses. We just don't do the safety training just to do it. We kind of target where the exposures are based on your losses, and as Mr. Montalvo addressed, it's been significant. It's a cooperative effort. I appreciate the cooperation that we've gotten, like I said, with administration, with Mercedes ISD. We're also working with Texas Mutual in regards to getting some loss runs so that we can target where the exposures are. And so far, we're on target in regards to mitigating the exposure of that nature. Just want, like I said, to be brief. One of the things we're going to focus in on is the safety manual. We want to make sure that we complete that, and that way just give you just a rough draft, comprehensive manual that can be used by all employees, thus reducing more of the exposure and also making sure it's kind of user-friendly, so that way the employees can use it as a manual that whenever there's any issues that arise, by all means they can use it as a reference on that. Thank you.
Next, we're going to have, as I mentioned earlier, Mr. Ruben Gonzalez. He is a senior consultant, safety services consultant with Texas Mutual, one of the larger workers' compensation carriers in Texas. He has a great background. He has 5 years experience with Texas Mutual, and he has multiple years experience in working in the safety control business with oil and gas related businesses. And so he's here to come in and give you some information on the slides that are on the screen at this point. So without further ado, Mr. Gonzalez.
Good evening, Madam Superintendent. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen from the board members of this great school district. It's been about 14, 16 months with that I do a presentation in public. So it's been a long time. I'm excited to be here. Thank you for having us. I'm representing Texas Mutual. I'm gonna go over your losses. It's gonna start from September 1st of 2020. Before I start, I want to say thank you for your commitment. Thank you for your efforts to provide a safer workplace environment to your employees. Numbers don't lie, and it's reflected in your losses. It's great to see a significant improvement in this policy year. Can we go to the next slide, please? So this slide is going to show you the top 3 causes of injuries. The first one, slip, trips, and falls. Second, strains, and the 3 is going to be others. Slip, trips, and falls. All these injuries, they're consistent with your operations. Of course, the slip, trips, and falls are going to be the leading cause of accidents. That's the leading cause of accidents according to the Department of Labor. Your teachers, every professional in your organization is exposed to slip, trips, and falls, and that's because sometimes young children might leave something on the floor, or there might be spills on the floor. So that's going to cause these injuries. Strains, employees. You have your employees working in your food department, or your custodians. They're exposed to strains because they're required to manually handle equipment, tools. So that's going to be your leading cause of accidents. And also, one of the good things about this, you are going to see that there's been 49 claims filed this policy year, but only 19 have involved some losses. 30 of these claims were filed for informational purposes only, which I believe is a great practice. It's good to file those. I know you want to minimize the number as much as you can, but if you can file this, please do, because a lot of times there's setbacks. A lot of times the employee was feeling fine today, and then a month later they might have feel something. And it's already filed. Texas Mutual will pick it up, and you don't have to worry about going back and forth with the employee or with the insurance. So this is, can you make a little bit larger, please? So this is the number of claims by quarter. As you can see, the second 2020. The last quarter of 2020, the first quarter of 2021, that's when you see the most claims. You've seen there's a significant improvement in this last quarter, the present quarter. There's been from 18, and now 7. So there's been a significant improvement. Also, when it comes to the cost of claims, it's also reducing by the quarters. The last quarter of 2020, that's the quarter with the most the severity of injuries, which means these were the highest cost of claims. But it's the first quarter of 2021, and now this quarter, it shows a significant improvement. So these are your frequency by cause of injuries. As you can see, the number 1 is going to be your slip, trips, and falls, which is very consistent with your operations. About 37% of all your injuries are slip, trips, and falls. And then you have your strains. About 12 of these claims are strains. And then you have struck bys. Struck bys, you're always going to see the struck bys as one of your top trends, because there's many injuries that fall into this category. If you have one of your teachers that gets been by one of your children, or they're carrying an object and it falls into their legs, or they're outside conducting some maintenance activities and they get stung by a mosquito or a bee, that's considered a struck by. So you're gonna see this as your top causes of injuries. So it's good to see that your top causes of injuries are consistent with your operations. And then this is the severity by injury. The most expensive claims involve your slip, trips, and falls, and then your strains. The others, because there were so many slip, trips, and falls and strains, when it comes to cost that that the average is higher than your others. So that's why they classify the others as others. And then this slide is very repetitive, but it shows all the claims. Again, you slip, trips, and falls, you're strained, you're struck by objects, strike against, cuts, burns, cutting under between, and industrial hygiene. So those were the other claims that were filed. That has been filed in your current policy here. They're also consistent with the type of injuries, the cost of claims. Again, and I mentioned this is very repetitive, but it breaks it down by cost and process of claims. But the losses, again, it's your slip, trips, and falls, your strains, you're struck by objects, your cuts, cutting under between, industrial hygiene, strike against, and your burns. I think this is one of very good slides to review, to analyze what's causing the accidents and when they're happening. This breaks it down by the day of the week, which is a good report to view because and as you can see, the dotted lines, it breaks it down. Most of your injuries are happening on Mondays and on Fridays, which is consistent to what we see. Most injuries always happen on their Mondays and Fridays. And school districts, we see that also. So it's not, we don't see any difference between other school districts. But Mondays, so far you had 13 claims filed. On Tuesday, 10 claims filed. On Wednesdays, 9. Thursday, 7. And Friday is 10. The second slide is going to show you this pretty much the same report, but now it reflects the cost of claims. This yeah. This report, this slide, it breaks it down by when are these accidents happening. As you can see, most of these claims, they happen between 8 and 9:59 in the morning. And then they, again, it goes between 2 to 4 p.m. Which again, comparing to other school districts, it's very common to see injuries happening at this time, between 8 and 10 and 2 to 4 p.m. And I know a lot of times your teachers might have other responsibilities like duties, morning duties, and again at the end. So, and we see this very, it's common in school districts. This is also a report that breaks it down by age. Most of the claims are happening to employees in their 60s, and then their 50s and their 40s. So most of the claims happen between 40 to 60 years. This is also a very good slide to see because a lot of times it helps you identify what groups to increase this training to. And a lot of times in other industries, what we see very often is that most employees that sustaining injuries are those who are new to their job. What we see here is that most employees that having injuries are those employees who have been with the school district for over 10 years. Those who have been with Mercedes ISD for more than 10 years have filed 25 claims. And then are those between 2 to 6, and then those between 6 to 10 years. Most of the claims that your employees are sustaining are between 2 to 10 years. But most of those are, most claims involve those employees who have been with Mercedes ISD for more than 10 years. This breaks it down by location. A lot of times it depends how the claim was filed, if there was a location and the time that it was filed. Of course, this number, this location can always be changed, so it can reflect a more accurate report. But most of your injuries are those who are in the child nutrition service department. then Ruben Hinojosa Elementary has 15% of all the injuries. Then it goes to Manuel Chacon, 12% of all the injuries are having filed from this school district. And your maintenance department has, they have 12% of all the injuries. But again, it's very important to note that 61% of all these claims were just for informational purposes only. And again, it's a very good practice to have, so that this can be on record. It does not mean that these schools are the ones having all these injuries. And this is again the same pie chart. Again, this is breaks it down by frequency by occupation. 22% again are your food service specialists, and then your custodians, paraprofessionals, and about 5% there was not a job description closing when the claim was filed. This is the severity by occupation. 26% are your case manager, and a lot of times it's not that all your case managers getting injured, but maybe one of your case managers have sustained a severe injury and is amounting for most of the cost of the claims. But with case management, and then goes to custodians, and if you add both custodians, it's about 36%. So that will be your leading highest severity by occupation. But then you have and then your other ones. And this is the last slide, and it breaks it down by classification codes. 67% of those in 91 classified as 9101, then your 8868, and then your 8810. And 8810, there's a like 9101 are all employees, all trades. Then you have your 8606, which are your professionals, and then your 8810, which are your clerical. The same pie chart. Well, thank you for your time. Any questions?
I just had a question, Mr. Gonzalez, with Texas Mutual, right?
Yes, sir.
I know that Texas Mutual
We have several options that we offer. We have the e-learning, which is an online-based training. We also have, and we have about 300 topics that you can assign to your employees that they can take. We also have resources on the website like toolbox talks, handouts, posters that you can create for your operations. We have online videos.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that we have access to that endeavors, that especially the safety committee.
Yes, sir.
Maybe they can look through that and get things that pertain to.
Yes, sir. We will look into that.
Thank you, Mr. Gonzalez.
Thank you.
Mr. Gonzalez,
Yes.
Texas Mutual, and looking at these graphs, others, gray shaded, the others, injuries, but do you, what does your company go to the campuses and observe, maybe where the highest, like you said, the highest are the trip and falls? Do you ever have the occasion to visit the areas?
Yes. And I know COVID has been a challenge lately, this past policy year, but I've been in contact with Mr. Raul Fernandez, and I know that it's something that we're looking to do.
So you contact Mr. Mendez and you go and you review the area?
Yes. That's one of the things that we can do. We can identify your school with the highest number of claims. And what we do it from
your reports?
Yes, like from a safe practices perspective, not so much from a regulatory perspective. If we see that your slip, trips, and falls are your leading cause of accidents, what we're trying to identify, or your strains, which are your top two, are your employees using their available resources they have to lift items. Are they, what type of food are they wearing? Are they reporting spills immediately? Not so much from a regulatory perspective, like from an OSHA inspection purposes. It's, what we're trying to do is minimize your injuries.
Thank you, sir.
I have a quick question. I don't think it's a fair question to you, sir, but maybe Mr. McLeod can enlighten me. The word dividend, because as we're looking at costs, and this is in reference to last year, this is I guess a discussion with the board members, is that we had a really delicate situation with insurances, and I like when you mentioned dividend. Will we see that later on in 3 months, or do we? If you wouldn't mind answering that question, because one of the things that I'm looking for is a saving. I know we had some issues with some previous agreements, and I wasn't very fond of the agreement. I don't know if some of the board members remember the agreement we had in the past, and I have to go into great detail, but I'm looking at a cost analysis. I want to be able to say, hey, to the taxpayers, we went with this particular firm, we invested, and I just want to be able to say with a straight face, say, look, I know we had a hit on some of the agreements on it, but on the fiscal side of it, I want to be able to say, hey, you know what, with this investment, we did a lot of good work with safety issues, maybe a drop on the cost of it. Can you elaborate, sir?
Yes, sir. City of Mercedes is also with Texas Mutual, and you can just ask them how they like their dividend checks. They, of course, are not paying as much as y'all, but they got probably about 30% back last year. Okay. Now, again, I can't pinpoint an amount because it all depends on the losses and what have you, the calculations at the end of the year. But part of the way the dividend works is that you have to renew another year, or at least have 18 months, so 12 or 6 to qualify for it. So if you go, say, from Texas Mutual to somebody else, then the dividend is not going to be there. So you have to have that longevity with it in order to qualify for that dividend. And I'm thinking, of course, it's not promised, but probably looking at about 100,000. Again, I can't say that for sure.
Right.
But the trend that you're going with right now?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, I just want this to be on the record, that's right, because I'm not going to be a cheerleader for no vendor. You need to produce and make it right, because time and time again, there's too many cheerleaders for vendors. That's not our business. Our business is to save money for our kids, for the staff, and for the board is that we've got to look out for our employees. Thanks so much for answering that question. Okay.
Anybody else have any questions for me?
Does that dividend carry over even if we stay with Texas Mutual, but we change the plan? You know how you offer different plans?
Well, we can offer a deductible plan, but really Texas Mutual just has their one plan. Am I right? Yeah. But you could go to a deductible plan, but I don't think the savings would warrant going that route.
So, Mr. Montalvo, when will that dividend be shown back to the district?
Like I mentioned, 18 months after the initial effective date.
September was our effective date?
Yes, sir. Thank you for the opportunity to be here tonight.
Thank you. Any more questions or comments from the board?
Just comment, good news. Thank you. Keep up the good work.
Next on the agenda, on the action agenda, we have the business office, discussion and possible action to approve fiscal year change to September 1st and authorize administration to submit appropriate documentation to the Texas Education Agency, including Mercedes ISD's notification of intent to change fiscal year start date. Mrs. Mendiola.
Madam Chairman, we are requesting to remain as a September 1st fiscal year start date. Administration is recommending approval.
Chairwoman, I so move.
Okay. Got a motion by Mr. Hernandez,
I'll second.
second by Mr. Acosta. Any discussion?
Absolutely. Ms. Mendiola, this is a question I want to ask. I had a lot of questions. I wasn't very happy with your response from yesterday.
Okay.
And something that always catches my eye when we're going from 10 months, 12 months, and we're going back to 10 months. You know, the consistency. I just want to know, I want this to be on the record, says, okay, at what point in the fiscal year that the benefit actually just wasn't working?
When we discovered that we were going to receive the ESSER monies,
Okay.
the 27 million, we realized that this was going to relieve us in our bind with our local budget. The decision to go with a July 1st fiscal year, we made that last year when we were having difficulties with our budget and you know, putting money into our fund balance. So we realized going to a 10-month would help us in savings for those 2 months and possibly put anywhere from 2 to 3 million into our 199.
So there was an issue with congruency with the funding of the agreement. Is that basically what it is?
Not necessarily, sir. It would still assist the district in adding 2 or 3 million into our fund balance if we continued with it. However, once we realized we were going to receive these monies, once we also realized what it entailed as far as the payroll side, the benefits side, the business side, and speaking to other districts, we weighed the pros and cons.
Okay.
And so that helped to make the decision to let's remain as a September 1st because the ESSER money is going to assist us in relieving a lot of our local budget dollars.
No, I just commend you and your staff. I know they've gone through a really tough time the past couple of years, so I'm very appreciative of that. I guess the second question is, I guess you already answered it at the workshop, so I don't have any more questions.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Any other discussion?
Just a point of clarification. When we made the decision, last year was in 2020, right?
In the 1920 school year, I believe, my first year. Yes, sir.
But we didn't actually do the change yet, right? It was going to be effective.
Effective July 20, 2022. July 2022.
Okay.
So we didn't.
And so I know that things changed this year because of the funding that you mentioned earlier with the ESSER. It still would be an option in the future to do this if we see that it would be beneficial for the district.
Yes, sir. It's always an option to apply again with the state to request a fiscal year change at any point in time. Something that obviously another factor that helped us with our savings in 199 was COVID and saving and substitute pay in other areas. So that also helped add money to our fund balance last year and hopefully again this year as well.
I just want to echo Mr. Hernandez's comment. Thank you for our staff and thank you for doing what's in the best interest of our district and our financial situation. So I really appreciate all the work. I know that there's a lot involved and a lot of detail in the ESSER. So I just want to thank you for your commitment and the work that you all have done.
Thank you, Mr. Acosta.
Ms. Copley, sorry, Ms. Mendiola.
Yes, sir.
So there was no change to the fiscal.
No, we hadn't started it yet. It would
Okay.
be for July of next year, sir.
Any other discussion? Okay, thank you. All those in favor say aye.
Aye. Aye.
All those aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Okay, A2, discussion and possible action to approve budget amendment number 5, general operations. Mrs. Mendiola.
Yes, Ms. Hines has a bit of information to share with the board.
Good evening, Madam President, board members, Superintendent Mendiola. This budget amendment, we're increasing revenue because Child Nutrition Fund received an equipment grant of $15,000. So we're increasing the federal side by $15,000, the amount of the grant. And we're reclassifying expenditures for, so that we can service the Mercedes High School chiller and repairs at the high school. And that's in the amount of $115,545. And then also the WillSub lawsuit payout will affect with a decrease of $90,000. So we're also adjusting for that. And that does affect the fund balance by $90,000.
Madam Chairman, administration is recommending approval of budget amendment number 5, general operations.
May I have a motion to approve the budget amendment number 5, general operations?
So moved.
I have a motion by Mr. Garza. May I have a second? A second by
Second.
Ms. Delgado. Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we have, next we have curriculum and instruction. B1, discussion and possible action to approve the addendum to the 2021 proposed summer COVID pay rates. Mrs. Mendiola.
Yes, Madam Chairman, and Board of Trustees, we brought this to the board last month. However, in discussion with the Director of Child Nutrition, the Director of Transportation, we realized that we may have a shortage of auxiliary employees over the summer. So we feel that adjusting their summer pay in order to come and assist us during summer school, we would like to take that into account and offer adjustments in their summer pay as well. So everything you see there in red is additional pay that we have added to what the board previously approved.
May I have a motion to approve the addendum to the 2021 proposed summer COVID pay rates?
I so move, Madam Chairman.
Second. Hernandez, may I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Ms. Mendiola, is this kind of what the ESSER program is doing?
This will help. This will definitely be an area that we'll be able to use ESSER monies in. Yes, sir.
Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Same sign. Motion passes. Okay, we have C governance, C1, discussion and possible action to approve resolution for ESSER 3 application. Mrs. Mendiola.
Madam Chairman, administration is recommending approval of the resolution for ESSER 3 application, and I will read the following resolution. Whereas on April 28, 2021, TEA notified school districts of the opportunity to apply for their allocation of the Elementary and Secondary School Emergency Relief 3 Fund, which should be used to respond to the pandemic and to address student learning loss as a result of COVID-19. Whereas TEA published guidance regarding how these funds can be used and local compliance requirements school districts must follow, including a recommendation that districts develop local board policy to address how the district will provide the required public notice regarding federal grants and awards for consistency. Whereas the Texas Education Code 11.151 gives the Board of Trustees the exclusive power and duty to govern and oversee the management of the public schools of the district, and whereas the board finds that a need exists to adjust local policy provisions to address public notice for federal grants and awards and approval of required grant plans. Now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Trustees of Mercedes Independent School District adopts the following text for inclusion at CB local, state, and federal revenue sources. The district shall provide public notice of federal grant applications through an information item at a board meeting and by publishing information on the district's website. The district shall make available opportunities for public input as required by law or the granting agency. Approval of required grant and award plans shall be by the superintendent. The change to CB local is effective based on the adoption date of this resolution.
May I have a motion to approve the resolution for ESER 3 application?
I so move.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Hernandez. May I have a second?
I second.
Second by Mr. Garza. Any discussion? Thank you. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Next on the agenda, we have Human Resources, D1. Discussion and possible action to approve MISD school closure compensation resolution regarding May 12, 2021 school closure. Mrs. Mendiola.
Madam Chairman, administration is recommending approval of the MISD school closure compensation resolution regarding May 12, 2021 school closure. As the board is well aware, we did not have school on that day. We canceled school on that day due to the lights going out and the weather, inclement weather. And so we want to continue to make sure we pay our staff, and this resolution will allow.
Thank you. May I have a motion to approve MISD school closure compensation resolution regarding May 12, 2021 school closure?
Madam Chairman, I gladly make decision.
I have a recommendation, a motion by Mr. Hernandez. May I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Howell. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Okay, we come up now to the consent agenda. I will start to my right. Mr. Acosta, do you have anything you'd like to?
No, I don't.
Mr. Garza?
No, ma'am.
Mr. Martinez?
No.
Mr. Howell?
No, ma'am.
Mr. Hernandez?
No, ma'am.
Mrs. Delgado?
No, ma'am.
Okay. May I have a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented?
So move.
I have a motion by Mr. Garza. May I
Second.
have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Howell. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. We have now come to the executive session of personnel pursuant to section 551.074 of the Texas Government Code and the attorney consultation pursuant to section 551.071 of the Texas Government Code. Resignations, terminations, appointments, evaluations, reassignment duties, and discipline of professional, paraprofessional, and non-contract employees, teachers, substitute, and substitutes for maintenance, transportation, and cafeteria department. B, student discipline. C, discussion and consideration of 720 CB 00287 West Educational Leasing, Inc. versus Mercedes ISD, to include discussion of compromise agreement. D, discussion and private consultation with attorney regarding contemplating litigation, settlement matters, and or matters where the professional duty under state board requires private consultation with the school attorney. It is now 7:02, and this meeting is now in executive session. Yes, we have to go to the back.
The IT guy?
I think it was.
Oh, yeah, he was. Thanks.
I think it was.
Think about Mr. Garza real quick?
Oh, sure, absolutely.
We're going to go to, he's asking for,
That's part of the laptop. It's just like they're trying to talk about that it's these things to the left.
Okay, please, the
Yeah,
executive team needs
that's what I
to stay.
figured.
Yes, ma'am.
Back.
Robert, can I carry that one? If you guys, those might be too close. And, what happened to my... Actually, talking like any monitors up there. Otherwise, I would have been able to push the sound monitors with those monitors. Yeah, just shut it down. Huh? Shut it down for a little bit.